Welcome, class of 2014. Please be seated. Good evening, family, friends, faculty, staff, distinguished guests, and graduates. It is my great honor and privilege to welcome you to the 2014 commencement ceremony of Clear Springs High School. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Adam Olivier, and I am the president of the senior class of 2014. Please note, our ceremony today will be followed in the order stated in your program. This evening, the invocation will be given by our class parliamentarian, Mr. Shiroz Khan, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge by our class historian, Ms. Brianna Moore. The national anthem will be sung by the Clear Springs Charger Choir. Recognition of military service and special guests will be given by our class secretary, Ms. Lauren Essery, and the benediction will be given by our class vice president, Ms. Megan Galvan. In addition, we have one small change to the program. Mrs. Sandy Bicknell could not be with us this evening. In her place, Ms. Colette Curry will be reading names. Finally, before we begin, I would like to say thank you to all of our parents, including my own, Brian and Tanya Olivier, and our spectacular faculty and staff who have supported us through these 4 years. Especially Mrs. Tracy LaFoy, our class sponsor and one of the strongest and most ethical women I know. At this time, we would like to ask everyone in attendance today to please stand and remain standing for the invocation, presentation of colors, the Pledge of Allegiance, the Texas Pledge, and the national anthem. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Clear Springs men, please remove your mortarboards.
Please stand. And now, please bow your heads for the invocation. In this moment, our ambitions have become the rewards, smiling loved ones, and the greater aspirations. In all our pursuits, everything from the harshest lesson to the most fruitful prize reminds us that you are with us. By your loving care, we have worked toward crossing and now cross the stage. We pray that you continue to guide us with our celebration tonight and your loving hand as we venture from this honored sojourn. Thank you for dearly holding us and compelling us forward. With your guidance and support, we have been able to accomplish desired goals and obtain what we have never had in mind. Amen.
Now please join me in saying the Texas Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now please join me in saying the Texas Pledge. It can be found inside your program at the bottom. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, and indivisible.
For the ramparts we Thank you. Please be seated. We are proud to be gathered here today in Veterans Memorial Stadium, which is named in honor of all of the military service men and women from Clear Creek ISD. At this time, we would like to recognize all seniors in the class of 2014 who have joined the military, as well as any of our alumni, parents, and guests with us here this evening who have served in the military or will be serving in the military. Please stand so that we may acknowledge your patriotism and service to our country. We are truly grateful for your service, and we thank you for your time, honor, and dedication. At this time, I would like to take a moment to recognize the Clear Creek Independent School District board members who are present and on stage with us today. Please hold applause until all special guests have been introduced. As I call your name, please stand. School Board President, Ms. Wynn Weber. School Board Vice President, Dr. Laura DuPont. School Board Secretary, Mr. Ken Ballaker. School Board Trustee, Ms. Ann Hammond. School Board Trustee, Mr. Charles Pond. School Board Trustee, Ms. Paige Rander. School Board Trustee, Ms. Dee Scott.
Also joining us today are our special guests from the Educational Support Center. Please stand as I call your name. Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Greg Smith. Deputy Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction, Dr. Stephen Ebel. Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Education, Mr. Scott Buckard. Assistant Superintendent of Elementary Education, Ms. Holly Hughes. In addition to our guests from the ESC, we are joined today on the stage by members of the Clear Springs High School administration team. Please stand as I call your name. Our head principal, Mrs. Gail Love. Associate Principal, Mr. Joseph Reeves. Assistant Principal for the class of 2014, Ms. Brooke Parker. Dean of Instruction, Ms. Colleen Dale. Lead Counselor, Ms. Mary Margaret Rucker. Thank you for celebrating with us today as we begin the journey of life after Clear Springs High School.
At this time, I would like to introduce additional members of the leadership team also with us this evening. As I call your name, please stand. Our assistant principals, Ms. Lori Diaz, Mr. George Martin, Mr. Troy Scott. Our student counselors, Ms. Angela Alkinson, Ms. Tracy Brooks, Ms. Julie Burris, Ms. Rhonda Kempton, and our career specialist, Ms. Kathleen Gandon. Thank you to all of the administrators and counselors for an outstanding job you do each day at Clear Springs High School.
Thank you, Mr. Reese. Good evening to our Board of Trustees, Superintendent Smith, guests on stage, class of 2014, faculty of Clear Springs High School, family and friends. Welcome to the graduation for the class of 2014. This ceremony today is dedicated to you and your families as recognition of your commitment to education. Students, I'm proud of each of you seated here today. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Ms. Parker for your leadership as senior principal, Ms. Tracy LaFoy for your leadership as both senior class sponsor and graduation co-facilitator. Thank you to the many teachers who have supported our students from grades pre-K through 12th grade on the journey to high school graduation. Students, I urge you to take the time today or in the near future to thank your family and friends who have gone the extra mile in support of you. Today marks a milestone for Clear Springs High School. We have a total of 2,700 graduates since the first class in 2010. Thank you, seniors, for staying steady on the course for graduation. The many dedicated faculty and staff present today has been dedicated to your success. I would like to recognize our faculty and staff that are present today. Teachers, if you would please stand. Thank you. Graduates, you have finished one journey and now you will soon start a new one. You've met the challenge, you passed the test, and you will soon enter a new stage of life. Your class has set the bar high, leaving a legacy of both academic, fine arts, CTE, and athletic achievements. 92 students are graduating on the Distinguished High School Plan. 90 honor graduates and 17 National Commended Scholars. Students in this class were recently awarded over $20.4 million in scholarship offers. That is the highest in the history of Clear Springs High School. Our campus post-secondary report shows a class of lifelong learners with over 94% of you committed to a 2- or 4-year university. 20 total are committed to the armed forces. Students in this class are also the first class of students to be recognized as establishing 2 additional honor societies of excellence. Many of these new corps are shown this evening. New to our campus are the National French Honor Society and the National American Sign Language Honor Society. At Clear Springs High School, we now have a total of 11 honor societies. This class footprints of excellence inspire us all. Who can forget the class participation in the follicle frenzy, the ultimate head shaving of teachers in contributions to support cancer awareness, or the generous contribution given to autism with the participation in the Autism Awareness Walk? Who can forget our most recently recognized gold medalist, Cassidy Jasperson, winning gold in wrestling? Or the Vet Tech team advanced to nationals, or the 15 Tommy Tune nominations and having won 9 of those nominated? Thank you, parents, for your support in instilling the desire to achieve as evident by the success shown and the students' desire to give back. Speaking of theater, when a theatrical performance closes, the cast and crew begin the dismantling of the set, the taking down of the lights and curtains, the stowing of the costumes and props, and in sometimes about 3 hours, the stage can return to its original form. This dismantling is known as the strike night. It represents a new beginning, a fresh canvas, a blank sheet of paper. It's a time of limitless possibilities, much like graduation. An actor learns that when you make an exit from the stage, you must be going somewhere else, toward a destination. So with high school ending, students, much like a production, it's a new beginning for you, an opportunity to make choices. As you prepare to exit Clear Springs, please consider the following points. Be open to new possibilities. It's okay to make mistakes, but always live up to the potential in every endeavor. Follow your passion. Everyone's path in your class will be different, but as you embark on this day, remember to trust your instincts regarding your plans for the future. Maya Angelou has written, "You can only become truly accomplished as something you love. Don't make money your goal. Instead, pursue things that you love doing." Students, don't worry if you don't have all the answers right away. Be patient and enjoy the process. And during your travels, don't forget to call home. Robert Frost reminds us that life teaches hard lessons. We all have to learn to let go. As we move from one stage of life to the next, graduation marks one of those times of letting go. The poet also reminds us that we are never forced to let go of the heart as we journey forward through life. With this sentiment, I would like to urge the soon-to-be graduates to keep Clear Springs in your heart. You will always be a Charger and have a home at Clear Springs. Students, as you walk across the stage this evening to receive your diploma, and you hear the applause of support from so many, remember this exciting feeling of accomplishment. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve as your principal. On behalf of the faculty and staff, thank you for getting to the finish line together. Thank you, Charger families, for entrusting us with the education of your students. This is your day, Chargers. Congratulations on a job well done.
Thank you, Mrs. Love. Also joining us for our celebration this evening is the Superintendent of Schools. Please join the class of 2014 as we welcome Dr. Greg Smith, Superintendent of Clear Creek Independent School District.
Well, good evening, Charger Nation and class of 2014. It's great to be with you tonight. For those of you over here in the shade, I hope you've been enjoying that moment. And if you just be patient over here, you're going to get a little bit of that as well. So thank you for joining us this evening. You are leaving Clear Creek Independent School District at the top of your game, students, as indicated by the recent U.S. News and World Report, which ranks Clear Springs High School as one of the top high schools in the nation. So congratulations to each and every one of you. It is through your hard work, teamwork, and sense of community that your school is nationally recognized as a destination for learners, public servants, and competitors. And you know, I've stood before many graduating classes during my time as superintendent, central office administrator, as well as high school principal. As a matter of fact, I think that sometime this weekend, I'll be celebrating my 100th high school graduation ceremony. Thankfully, I've never felt like any of the graduation ceremonies were like a scene from the movie Groundhog Day, because each ceremony is different. Nevertheless, it gets harder to dole out a few tips here and there, but you might remember anything whatsoever remains to be seen. The only thing that I can remember during my high school graduation 38 years ago was that it was pretty darn hot, about as hot as it was or is tonight. But at the end of the day, it is not about me and it's not about my experiences as much as it is about you and your experiences. Graduates, you have a voice. You have a voice in the next great generation. According to news reporter and author Tom Brokaw, the greatest generation occurred over 60 years ago, as the turmoil from the World War II played out on the world stage. Young men and women like you, whose young lives had often been defined first by the deprivations of the Great Depression and then by the sacrifices of the war, came home to start families, begin careers, build communities, serve their nation in uniform and in political office. Who would have blamed them if they had returned and just simply said, "I've done my share, I quit. Let someone else take care of the world"? They did not, of course. Thank goodness. Instead, they gave us the lives we have today, just like the men and women that stood up earlier who have volunteered their precious time. And I'd like for them to stand up one more time, because if it wasn't for you and what you did then, we would not be where we are today. So, ladies and gentlemen who have served in the armed forces, please stand once again and let us acknowledge you. Thank you. How precious you are to us. So I ask you, students, what have you done with your freedom that has been given to you today, and what will you do with it tomorrow? You do have the capacity to be the next great generation. You have already had a seat at the table and a voice with students like Christy Scott and Charles Kahn, they've both been meeting with me monthly, helping me, the school board, and Clear Creek ISD get better every day. I want to take a moment now and reflect with you on a couple items of interest. There are approximately 2 million minutes in your 4 years of high school. Tonight you're celebrating the last few with us. And if you're going off to college, your parents are hoping and praying that it will only take you another 2 million more minutes and finish up those 4 years of college. Do not trail into 5 and 6 if you don't have to. It's going to cost them more. So make a note to self, on behalf of your parents, stick to the 2 million minutes, please. You also know life is messy by now, and the road to your destination is not straight and smooth. While the road will definitely have bumps, curves, and certainly detours, like I-45, it will not have limits unless you put them there. Just ask your peer, Christy 2. Going into 9th grade, she lost her mother to cancer. Christy admits it was devastating, but her mother's memory is her most important motivation to be honest, hardworking, and wholehearted. Her mother instilled the love of community service in her to the extent today, and it's possible that even Christy's doing greater things. Christy, along with many of you, shared one of the first High School United Way chapters in the nation. On Saturdays, while people are sleeping in, you can find Christy at the corner of 20th and Winnie in Galveston, feeding and caring for the homeless and the children of the homeless. Christy, your mother would be proud of you, as I hope you know we are as well. I don't quote any fancy people at the end here. I just want you to know I'm going to leave it to you with a quote from one of Christy's essays that I feel is worth giving in terms of lifelong advice. In one of her essays, Christy mentioned, accept your challenge, handle your hardships, love unconditionally, and always be appreciative. Students, good luck to the next generation. That's you. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I have the honor of introducing our two highest-ranking graduates for the class of 2014. Antonia Jones has earned the title of salutatorian by distinguishing herself in both academics and volunteer service. Antonia is truly amazing as a scholar and gifted artist. She is an honor and a distinguished graduate, a CCISD 4-year superintendent scholar, and a National Merit Commended and finalist scholar. Antonia participated in our high school advanced art competition and Project Lead the Way engineering program in Hutch, as well as the Aerospace Eagle's Nest project and robotics team. She enjoys sharing her passion for engineering and her love of the arts. She values that engineering can be a way to create better tools and leave one's mark. Antonia plans to attend Texas A&M University and pursue a degree in computer science and work in the field of creating software. I present to you the daughter of William and Frances Jones. Please welcome your salutatorian for the class of 2014, Antonia Jones.
Howdy. After 4 years, I imagine we're all a little tired of dress code. But we're here wearing the same thing, maybe with different cords or accessories, but essentially the same thing. And why? It is not because we have all the same interests. If so, there wouldn't be an art club and a ping pong club, a physics club and an interact club. It is not because we're all going to the same place. If so, there wouldn't be HOSA, DECA, Project Lead the Way, and so many signs representing different colleges lining the school entrance. We wear the same gown and celebrate together today because no matter what you were involved in during these past 4 years, no matter what your struggles were, no matter where you plan to go and what you plan to do, the people here today, loved ones, teachers, faculty, and administrators, have all worked for years to prepare us for whatever our future endeavors may be. We have put in the work to graduate today, but they have put in the work to ensure that all we have done to get here has given us the knowledge, patience, tenacity, and responsibility to achieve our various goals. I am confident in this class because I am confident in the education and training that the people on the stage and lining the rows in front of me have given us. I am confident in this class because I am confident in the support and guidance that our loved ones in the stands give us and will continue to give us. I am confident in this class because I have seen us build airplanes, sweep the Tommy Tunes Awards, and much more. Good luck, class of 2014.
Our next speaker will be the valedictorian of the senior class of 2014. Raymond Fang represents his student body as not only the #1 in his class, but as a role model and a National Merit Finalist Scholar. He is an honor and distinguished graduate. He was a committed achiever throughout his high school career. He has shown dedication to succeed academically, as well as serving his community, researching in the medical field and leading. Raymond served in many leadership roles and achieved rewards and won competitions in debate, HOSA, Barbara James Service Award. He's a National AP Scholar. He's CCISD 4-year Superintendent Scholar, State DECA Competition, President Service Award, National Forensic Lead, and he's state finalist of HOSA Medical Math Competition. Raymond is also a gifted artist, gold medalist, all region and area orchestra competition. He volunteered at UTMB, the Welch Research Program at the University of Texas at Arlington. Raymond plans to attend Rice University and pursue a degree in biochemistry. His inspirations include medical school and research. I present to you the son of Dr. Sean Fang and Kathy Soon. Please welcome your valedictorian for the class of 2014, Raymond Fang.
Welcome. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And when life gives you cookies, you eat them. And when life gives you graduation, you're forced to listen to me deliver a speech. So now that I've taken you hostage, I'd like to spend a few seconds thanking those who've allowed me to get here. All the teachers I cannot possibly name, mom and dad and all my lads, and anyone else I did not have time to mention because you all take awesome to another dimension. But the reason we're all here is because in one way or another, we've accomplished something. And now that part of that journey comes to an end, we take time to decide what we want to do in the future. Our world is now ever the more complex. Once upon a time, an apple was only a fruit you ate. Now if you go to the Apple store and eat something there, well, let's just say that the results aren't so delicious. Hakuna Matata no longer functions as a foolhardy solution to all of our problems. So with the skills we've gained, like mastery of Google, we have a bright future ahead of us. Some people ask us why we strive for more, why we want greatness when we can fade into the shadows. The truth is that those dreams of greatness, what we want to do in life, is what makes us live. And that's the beautiful thing about dreams. If we chase them, we never lose. Some will fall short, but the act of not having to wake up each and every morning wondering whether you could have chased those dreams is worse than failure itself. Don't get me wrong, life is a bully. Sometimes they'll knock you down or kung fu kick you in the face. But it's up to you to keep going, to remember that you remain in control of your destiny. Exiled, lacking imagination, had no good ideas, too stupid to learn anything, were phrases that respectively describe Winston Churchill, Walt Disney, and Thomas Edison. And while we each have our own struggles, one thing is certain: we are capable of overcoming and channeling our own inner superpowers. From being the perfect vet to the aspiring engineer, speak not only to build a career, but a life. And also, dreams change. Once we find out that we're not who we thought we were, we create new dreams and chase them, because that is what allows us to live. So as we sail into the future, I want you to remember never to fear failure, to never cease to search for yourself. When life gives you dreams, take them. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And when life gives you graduation, well, let's just say that's an interesting day. Thank you.
Good evening. Since its opening in 2007, under the leadership of Principal Gail Love, Clear Springs High School has enjoyed a culture of excellence and a legacy of traditions that will endure for years to come. The Principal's Legacy Award honors a young man and young woman in the graduating class whom the faculty believes best represents our culture of excellence. Selection is based on leadership, academics, extracurricular involvement, and service to both our school and the community. The Principal's Legacy Award is the most prestigious award a student can receive at Clear Springs High School. It is reserved exclusively for seniors and is the only award that is allowed to be presented during the commencement ceremony. The recipients will have their names engraved on the Principal's Legacy plaque, which hangs in Clear Springs High School on permanent display. Please join me in recognizing this year's recipients. Students, please come to the stage when your name is called. The male recipient of the 2014 Principal's Legacy Award is Shiroz Khan. The female recipient of the 2014 Principal's Legacy Award is Paige Tippett.
Dr. Smith, please join me at the podium. Dr. Smith, I hereby certify that these students have successfully completed the course of study as prescribed by the state of Texas. In addition, they have satisfied the graduation requirements as stipulated by the Board of Trustees of the Clear Creek Independent School District.
Ms. Love, I accept your certification and hereby declare these students as graduates of Clear Springs High School with all the honors, rights, and privileges appertaining to this degree. Congratulations, students. Well done.
Thank you.
At this time, we will begin the presentation of diplomas. We ask that you refrain from using air horns, whistles, or noisemakers to help ensure that every family has the opportunity to hear their student's name read. We ask that all family and friends remain seated in the stadium for the entire distribution of diplomas. Thank you for your cooperation.